Hello, I'm Rob.
And I'm Rob.
And this is Ask Rob and Rob.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Ask Rob and Rob, the show where the name really gives it away. We are Rob and Rob, and we will answer one of your questions. Our question this week comes from Derek. He's got a great question for us to get our teeth into. But before we do that, let's quickly run through how you can ask a question of your own.
Well, you'll be pleased to know it's nice and simple. And we give you more than one option. You can go to the Property Hub website, and you can go to thepropertyhub.net/podcast. Follow the link there and ask us a question. Or you can call this number if you're on your phone, 013 808 00035. That's 013 808 00035. And leave us a voicemail message there. It'll go straight to voicemail. Leave us a message. You might hear yourself on the podcast very soon. That's exactly what Derek did. And here he is.
Hi, Rob and Rob. My name is Derek from Brighton. I've always been I've always been keen to get involved in investing in property. But my issue is that I have roughly about £30,000 worth of debt. That's in credit cards and personal loan. And I'm really not sure about how to go about starting investing, because if I wait to pay off my debt, property prices are running away from me, which means I can't raise the deposit. So I just wonder if there's anything that you could advise that could get me on the ladder quicker. I look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thank you very much.
Derek, these are the type of questions that I just love to say, you know what, you do this, you do that, and suddenly you've got a property and your debt's gone. And wouldn't that be wonderful? But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Now, there will be people out there, and this is a word of warning for anyone in a similar position to Derek, and people in that position really want to invest. I understand it. I can understand your desire to invest. I really, really do. You know, once upon a time, I was in debt, and I couldn't invest in property, and I had to get myself out of it. But the warning is that there are going to be people out there that will tell you that you can invest, and if you just pay a bit more and take out a bit more debt, I'll show you exactly how to do it. Avoid those people. The people who make big promises and big claims and want a bit of money to show you how are the people to avoid. But don't worry, Derek. I can tell you now, there are no secrets. Those courses are a waste of money. And unfortunately, I haven't got a magic wand. But what I will say is this. Let's flip it round and say you managed to get 30k together. Okay? And you've got the choice of paying off your debt or investing. What should you do? And let's assume that you're managing your debts and you can pay for them month in, month out. Well, then the very sensible choice would be to pay down that debt. And in many cases, that would be correct. But what you would have to do is base it on return. Okay? So provided you can get a mortgage because your debt levels are acceptable, if your debt costs you 9% a month to pay it off, and you can get a property that gives you 8% return, well, then it's a no-brainer, pay your debt off. While as sexy as investing in property might be, you've got to base it on the numbers and pay it down. However, I would do a savings snowball, and there's lots of people who talk about this, but you want to start off by paying off your most expensive debt first, bit by bit. So let's say you've got £250 you can save every month. Start off by paying down your most expensive debt first and work your way down that way, and your debt will reduce a lot more quickly. So work on the more expensive debt, get that paid off as soon as you can, and the cheaper debt that you have, if that is going to remain cheap and not go up in the future, then maybe you can accept that in the background. But get all the expensive debt paid off as soon as you can. And that sounds like an obvious thing to do, but sometimes the obvious things are the right things. And in this case, that's the right thing to do.
Well, I was going to use this episode to pitch my How to Get Rich in Property with None of Your Own Money, even if you're in debt course, and you've ruined that one, Rob.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So instead, I'll just have to say, look, Rob's right. It's not the fun and sexy and glamorous approach, but it does happen to be true. There are no quick fixes or easy answers, but that's okay. What you can do instead is put a plan together. And it's easy to feel like everything's miles and miles off, that even if it's a couple of years in the future or more, that you're actually able to start investing in property. If you plan out when you're going to be rid of as much of your debt as it makes sense to pay off, when you've got the cash to invest in property, and you work out when that's likely to be, then that will happen a lot faster than you'll think, and you'll feel a lot better about it for having a plan. You won't feel so stuck. And then you could use that time, of course, to get experience to help you do a better job when you are ready to start. And there's so much that you can do. The amount that you could learn over a couple of years would be absolutely huge, and you can do pretty much all of it for free. There's all our podcasts, there's the forum, there's free courses that we've put out, there's a free network of meetups. There are, believe it or not, other free resources other than ours as well. There's loads and loads that you can do. You can get to know other property investors. You can see if you can shadow them, find out what they do, and just get yourself into a position where when you're financially ready to start, you're already ready to start in terms of knowledge and your plan of what you want to do. So this isn't a question with a really easy answer, but I think once you accept that there's no easy answer and you just decide to put a plan in place to deal with the situation, get yourself into a place where you can invest and start building up that knowledge and your education, hopefully you'll be in a position where rather than kind of feeling disappointed that you can't start now, you'll be excited about what you're going to do in the future.
Well, thank you, Derek, because it allows us to speak to a lot of people. And a lot of people probably got that question or in the same position as you, and now we've been able to speak to many people at once. And you've given us an idea for a course we can put out for free, not one of these sneaky chargy people that promise a lot and deliver very little. In fact, on the Property Hub, we do put courses out for absolutely free for all our Hub members, and to become a member is free. So we are going to do a personal finance course at some point in the near future. Because of this episode, you've given us the inspiration to do that. So thank you, Derek. A lot of good has come from this episode. But while you wait for that, you can take advantage of the many free courses we have on there already. If you go to thepropertyhub.net, click on free training, and you'll find plenty of free courses there. Yes, not a penny charged, all given to you absolutely free. You know where else is free, Rob? All our podcasts. And we will be back with another one of those on Thursday. And of course, we'll be back on Tuesday with another Ask Rob and Rob. Until then, have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.